So if you're like me, at some point you've probably wondered why exactly the Sith always look disfigured and why do they always look completely different from what they actually look like. This is because the dark side of the Force is very powerful. It's a quick way to gain power, and the more you push into the dark side of the Force, the more it can potentially corrupt you. And the more you push into the dark side of the Force, the more corruption begins to take over, and it begins to take a physical toll on your body. Which is why Sith and some of the most powerful Sith are completely disfigured. They look completely different from a natural state. And it usually begins to take place in the eyes. First, the Sith eyes are very iconic and very distinct in Star Wars history. And once the rule of two was enabled, all Sith began to hide their true appearance in order to blend in and hide from the Jedi, and were able to more so work undercover. This is why somebody like Palpatine and Anakin Skywalker were able to turn off their Sith eyes, and Palpatine had to change his entire face entirely in order to not disclose and to hide their true intentions and their true identity from the entire galaxy. This is what makes Sith like Dooku so important and so awesome for the entire galaxy and for the Star Wars narrative going forward. Dooku was able to walk a fine balance. He was able to push into the dark side of the Force and use it as a tool, not necessarily let it corrupt him. This is why Dooku was able to keep his appearance. He also acted more as a politician. He didn't let the dark side of the Force just completely rule everything in his life. And he also more so aligned himself with the dark side of the Force because he saw corruption within the Jedi and thought they were not serving their purpose anymore. But using the dark side of the Force is a quick way to gain power. It's so quick that it takes a mental and physical toll on your body. But nonetheless, it is powerful. It is very, very powerful if it's wielded correctly. Any dark side practitioner knows this. Every dark side practitioner knows this because the dark side of the Force is not necessarily working alongside the Force. It is actually bending the Force to your own will. Unlike the light side of the Force or Jedi, they use the Force and work with it as an ally. The dark side of the Force bends it and uses it as a tool. And with this tool, with also the drawbacks of losing your physical appearance and also your true mental state, this tool is very, very, very powerful. This is why somebody like Palpatine was able to take on Yoda. Yoda had been around for thousands and thousands of years, and he was still fooled by the raw power of what Palpatine had. And also the pure fact that Palpatine was spreading the dark side of the Force around the entire galaxy. And he was so powerful, in fact, that he was able to blind and manipulate every single last Force user, even Maul and even Dooku. He was able to hide his intentions completely away from somebody like Dooku, although he was very smart. The dark side of the Force is also very powerful to the point where you can do things that are unnatural. After Anakin Skywalker was burned on Mustafar, he was able to keep himself alive even as a little nub completely burned with his scorched lungs sitting on the banks of Mustafar. And if you notice at this point, his eyes were seething with hatred for Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was completely consumed by the dark side of the Force at this point. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Is it worth the drawbacks of your changing of your mental and physical health? To me personally, I would rather be like Dooku and not let it completely corrupt me, but I would use the dark side of the Force as a tool and try to work with it. Similarly to what Mace Windu did with Vaapad. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. May the Force be with you, and as always, have a great rest of your day.